These are the events that turned Drake from hip-hop's golden boy into rap's most isolated superstar, facing a 20 versus 1 battle that completely reshaped the entire industry. What started as friendly competition between collaborators became the most devastating feud in rap history, and it all culminated in Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us becoming a billion-stream cultural phenomenon that literally rewrote the rules of hip-hop warfare. To understand how we got here, you've got to go back to 2011, when Drake and Kendrick were actually friends. Picture this: Drake gives Kendrick a platform on his track Buried Alive Interlude. Kendrick returns the favor with Poetic Justice, and they're both featured on A$AP Rocky's Problems. These weren't just business collaborations, they represented genuine mutual respect between two rising stars who seemed destined to rule hip-hop together. But everything changed on August 14th, 2013, when Kendrick stepped into the booth for Big Sean's Control and dropped what would become the most controversial verse in modern rap history. In less than 2 minutes, Kendrick called out Drake by name, along with a dozen other rappers, while crowning himself the King of New York and declaring that he was trying to murder everyone lyrically. The verse wasn't just competitive, it was a direct challenge to hip-hop's established hierarchy. Drake's response revealed the first cracks in their relationship. While most rappers treated the verse as friendly competition, Drake seemed genuinely bothered. In interviews, he downplayed Kendrick's claims, saying, "I know good and well that Kendrick's not murdering me at all in any platform," but behind the scenes, tension was building. What followed was what music critics would later call the Cold War. 10 years of subtle disses, subliminal shots, and carefully crafted lyrics that never quite crossed the line into open warfare. The shots were surgical and calculated. Drake's 2015 mixtape, If You're Reading This, It's Too Late, contained tracks like Used To and 6 p.m. in New York that many interpreted as Kendrick disses. Kendrick fired back with references to ghostwriting on King Kunta, touching on allegations that had surfaced during Drake's beef with Meek Mill. Each artist maintained plausible deniability, but the hip-hop community knew exactly what was happening. For nearly a decade, this Cold War simmered beneath the surface, occasionally bubbling up in interviews or song lyrics. But the real explosion came when J. Cole entered the picture with his 2023 track First Person Shooter featuring Drake. Cole's verse mentioned the Big Three of rap: himself, Drake, and Kendrick, a statement that would prove to be the match that lit the powder keg. March 22nd, 2024. Future and Metro Boomin released Like That, featuring a Kendrick Lamar verse that would change everything. In just over 2 minutes, Kendrick systematically dismantled the Big Three concept, declaring, "It's just Big Me," and taking direct shots at both Drake and J. Cole. But this wasn't the subliminal warfare of the past decade. This was a full-scale declaration of war. The response was immediate and chaotic. J. Cole jumped in first with 7-Minute Drill on April 5th, but within days, he was apologizing at a festival, calling his diss track the lamest shit I ever did in my fucking life.
At the end of the day, when I listen to it and when it comes out and I see the talk, that shit don't sit right with my spirit. That shit make me feel, that shit disrupts my fucking peace. So what I want to say right here tonight is, in the midst of me doing that and in that shit, trying to find a little angle and downplay this nigga's fucking catalog and his greatness, I want to say right now tonight, how many people think Kendrick Lamar is one of the greatest motherfuckers to ever touch a fucking microphone? Dreamville, y'all love Kendrick Lamar, correct? As do I. So I just want to come up here and be like, publicly be like, bruh, that was the lamest, like, goofiest shit. And I say all that to say, it made me feel like 10 years ago when I was moving incorrectly. And I pray that God align me back up on my purpose and on my path. You know what I mean? I pray that my nigga really didn't feel no way. And if he did, my nigga, I got my chin out. Take your best shot, I'm gonna take that shit on the chin, boy.
Before removing it from streaming platforms entirely. Cole's quick exit left Drake standing alone in the battlefield, facing Kendrick one-on-one for the first time in their careers. Drake's push-ups leaked on April 13th, and the gloves were officially off. But this track revealed something crucial. Drake wasn't just fighting Kendrick anymore. He was taking shots at Metro Boomin, Future, The Weeknd, A$AP Rocky, and Rick Ross. What had started as a three-way battle was rapidly becoming Drake versus the entire industry.
All right, so 21 Savage sat down with Big Bank for perspectives with Big Bank, and 3-hour-long conversation that premiered last night. I tried to get through the whole thing, y'all fell asleep, but it was a great conversation. So they talked a lot about in the opening, because even on 21 Savage's new album, he talks about like kind of how things have shifted, like the streets, and he doesn't just mean like street culture. He means like what's real, what's fake, being able to tell between the two, right? So they're talking about the whole beef with Drake and Kendrick, and he says he told Drake not to get into the beef. Let's take a listen.
But I told Drake, he called me one of them days, or I called him. I think this was after the first song, the song with Metro them. And I said, goddamn, you finna go into a battle that you can't win. Like, there's no way you can win.
What you mean?
No matter what, bruh, certain situations, even if you win, you still don't win. What he would have got if people would have quote unquote say he won, because I don't really look at like who won or who lost if I'm still being screened the most. Like, so, but people say like, oh, Kendrick won. Kendrick, a good ass rapper though. You get what I'm saying? And some of his songs was hard.
Yeah.
But goddamn, Drake, I like Drake songs too. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? But I feel like the only difference is when you're at the top, when you the number one, where does winning put you?
Yeah.
You can't go like number 1.1. So how the could you win anyway? That's what I told him. Like how can you win?
It's ego involved though.
It's definitely ego, and it's just some love. Drake really loved it. Like Kendrick really loved to rap.
Yeah, and that's that end part is actually the key.
Yeah.
They're both MCs who like to compete. You know, you can say whatever you want about Drake, but he's showing us that he likes to compete. Win or lose.
But that's a real rapper.
That's
and
what
a real
rappers
lyricist,
do.
right?
That's
like like you look at Jay-Z back in the day. Jay-Z went at small rappers going at him, and he went at major rappers going at him. If you're a rapper, you're an MC, you like the competition.
Nothing wrong being competitive.
Not at all. But if Drake had won, he could have it almost sounds like in the beginning of that clip that he's telling him like, you're already there, so it's no need to compete. Like, where do you go from here? But if Drake had won that beef, we would have said Drake won. It would have been a little different for Drake.
But that's the risk you take when you engage in a fight. You may win, you may lose.
Yes.
But I don't have a problem with him being competitive. He just got his ass kicked. It's okay. He's still Drake at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And 21 got into that conversation as well. Let's take a listen to clip number 2.
They want to tell the top down.
Yeah, nah, for sure.
So
they come with it.
How can you win a battle when want you to lose it? Even if you win, you lose. No matter what. Even if Kendrick never responded, man. If Drake just dropped songs and goddamn Kendrick never responded or nothing, he still don't win because his position didn't change. He was already the top.
Yeah, but that sound different when them folk goddamn playing the Super Bowl. But this song, that hit different.
I guess.
That hit different. Like, hey, you know, numbers don't lie. But, bro, that gotta feel a certain type of way, boy.
What, you talking about to hear this you at the Super Bowl?
Yeah, and to goddamn them arena, them folk like, homie, you know, Kendrick been a great artist all this time or whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he ain't had that look. That Drake dish run look been his biggest look.
Drake couldn't get that from him.
Facts.
That's my point was.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I don't like that conversation either, though, because I don't know why we act like Kendrick Lamar wasn't Kendrick Lamar before all of this. You know what I mean? Like Kendrick Lamar he won a Pulitzer Prize.
That's true, but
like this man has been selling out arenas all over the world way before this.
But
for some reason, people feel
He's got so many Grammys
that's
before
factual.
this.
But that beef took him up another level, I would have to say. People who might not have known who Kendrick was know who he was.
It made it trendy to listen to Kendrick.
Yeah,
I feel like
I think so.
But
we can't take away what
superstar.
Kendrick has done.
Yeah, we're
though.
acting like he wasn't already a 1A artist already.
He was, but it made it a little bit more trendier or something. And
like 21 said, it made him 1.1. Like he was already an A artist. Now it made him a little more to people that might not have known him.
That defeats Drake's point. I mean, 21's point.
What's that?
He said you can't be 1.1 when you're
That's
already
what I
number
was
one.
saying like
So
a couple seconds
Kendrick
ago.
was already
It would have
up
been a different.
Right.
If Drake won,
It
he would have been 1.1.
It crossed him over a lot more.
Kendrick Lamar.
I think it crossed him over a lot more. I think that battle crossed him over a lot more.
I think it just made more conversation around Kendrick Lamar. And there was conversation there already, but I don't know. It did make it different. It felt different. I will say, too, people talk about what that battle did for Kendrick, but Kendrick just topped Hot 100 Songwriter of the Year for the first time. And a lot of the songs on here that they're crediting him for are not just, it's not like us is here, but you got Humble. There's so many other songs that I'm just pointing it out for the people because they like to make it seem like this battle made Kendrick a superstar.
The beauty about
just like me and Metro.
So did you
I tried to get them together long before all this happened.
What happened?
You know, some just Metro felt how he felt. Metro felt a certain type of way about something. Drake told me and Metro that he understood where he was wrong
and
he apologized multiple times. But I feel like Metro just felt how he felt. But I feel like now Metro is kind of more open-minded. I feel like he I don't know, I feel like Metro been through a lot. So, you know, like I feel like sometimes the It just don't be the right time. But I feel like in the future, the near future, we'll see them work together again.
Do you think the damage is done? Do you think Drake took a hit?
Do I think he took a hit?
Yeah.
Nah. He's still the #1 stream this year.
Yeah.
I feel like he took an internet hit, but then it'd be like, damn, did you take an internet hit? Because streaming, you got to go on the internet to stream.
He took a hit, 20.
He did.
He took a hit.
It's so much more to this
He can
combo.
rebuild,
Yeah.
but he took a hit.
I think he can rebuild, but I do think the way that the internet is set up, when they go against you, it does put a little cloud. Because people not even screaming about Iceman.
Yeah, but to 21's point, yeah, the internet might be feeling away, but he's still the #1 streamed artist.
100%.
So does it really matter? 6'7".
6'7".
The escalation was breathtaking. Drake's tailor-made freestyle used AI-generated voices of Tupac Shakur and Snoop Dogg to taunt Kendrick, a move so controversial that Tupac's estate threatened legal action. Kendrick responded with Euphoria, a 6-minute masterpiece that dissected Drake's career, his parenting, and his place in hip-hop culture with surgical precision. But nothing could have prepared the world for May 3rd and 4th, 2024. In less than 24 hours, both artists unleashed their most devastating weapons. Kendrick dropped 3 tracks, 616 in LA, Meet the Grams, and Not Like Us. Drake fired back with Family Matters and The Heart Part 6. It was musical warfare at its most intense, with each track containing allegations that went far beyond typical rap beef territory. Not Like Us wasn't just a diss track, it was a cultural phenomenon. The song immediately caught fire, setting single-day streaming records previously held by Drake himself. Within days, it became clear that this wasn't just winning the battle, it was ending the war. The track's infectious beat, crafted by DJ Mustard, combined with Kendrick's relentless flow, created something unprecedented. A diss track that didn't just demolish its target, but became a genuine hit in its own right. The numbers tell the story of Drake's isolation. Not Like Us surpassed 1 billion streams on Spotify in just 250 days, faster than almost any song in platform history. It spent 2 weeks at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and 20 weeks dominating the rap charts. Meanwhile, Drake's responses failed to gain the same traction, despite his massive fan base and industry connections. But the isolation went deeper than streaming numbers. Rick Ross released Champagne Moments, targeting Drake directly. The Weeknd, once Drake's close collaborator, aligned himself with Kendrick's side. A$AP Rocky joined the opposition. Even Kanye West previewed a scathing verse against Drake. The man who had once seemed untouchable in hip-hop found himself facing what he would later describe as a 20 versus 1 battle. The reasons for this industry-wide abandonment run deeper than just picking the winning side. For years, Drake had been criticized for his approach to hip-hop culture, the allegations of ghostwriting, his perceived exploitation of regional sounds and artists, and his position as a Canadian actor who had become rap's biggest star. Many in the hip-hop community had been waiting for someone with Kendrick's credibility and skill to voice their frustrations. The aftermath was swift and brutal. On May 7th, 2024, just days after Not Like Us dropped, a member of Drake's security team was shot outside his Toronto mansion. While no direct connection to the beef was established, the timing underscored how the conflict had spiraled beyond music into something more serious and potentially dangerous. Kendrick's victory lap was methodical and devastating. The Not Like Us music video, released on July 4th, featured appearances by Drake's ex-girlfriend, Serena Williams, and other notable figures from Compton. In September, Kendrick was announced as the Super Bowl halftime performer, a prestigious platform that typically goes to artists at the peak of their cultural relevance. The 2025 Grammy Awards became Kendrick's coronation. Not Like Us swept all 5 categories it was nominated for, including Record of the Year and Song of the Year, making it only the 3rd hip-hop song in history to win Record of the Year. Kendrick's acceptance speech was gracious, but pointed. This is what it's about, man, because at the end of the day, nothing is more powerful than rap music. We are the culture. It's gonna always stay here and live forever. The Super Bowl performance on February 9th, 2025 was the final nail in the coffin. With 133.5 million viewers, more than the actual game, Kendrick delivered the most watched halftime show in history. When he performed Not Like Us, he initially teased the audience, saying, "I want to play their favorite song, but you know they love to sue," a reference to Drake's ongoing legal battles. The performance caused streaming numbers for the track to spike 430% in the following 3 hours. Drake's response to his isolation revealed the desperation of his position. Instead of accepting defeat gracefully, he filed lawsuits against Universal Music Group and Spotify, alleging that Not Like Us defamed him and that the companies artificially inflated its popularity. In hip-hop culture, where authenticity and street credibility are paramount, taking legal action in a rap beef was seen as the ultimate admission of defeat. The lawsuits were eventually dismissed in October 2025, with a federal judge noting that in the broader context of a heated rap battle with incendiary language and offensive accusations hurled by both participants, reasonable listeners wouldn't believe that diss tracks impart verifiable facts. The judge's ruling essentially codified what the hip-hop community already knew. Drake had lost not just the battle, but the war for cultural legitimacy. Drake's February 2025 album, with Party Next Door, his first major release since the beef, felt like a desperate attempt to remind the world he still existed. The track, Gimme a Hug, contained verses widely interpreted as responses to the beef, with Drake touting his resilience and desire to get the party lit, likely referencing Kendrick's track, Watch the Party Die. But the album's reception was lukewarm, suggesting that Drake's cultural moment had indeed passed. The broader implications of this feud extend far beyond two artists trading insults. This battle represented a reckoning for hip-hop's relationship with authenticity, cultural appropriation, and corporate influence. Kendrick's victory wasn't just personal, it was ideological. It reinforced the idea that in hip-hop, skill, authenticity, and cultural credibility matter more than commercial success or industry connections. The isolation of Drake also reflects changing power dynamics in the music industry. Where once a superstar could weather any controversy through sheer commercial dominance, the democratization of music distribution and social media has given artists and audiences more power to shape narratives. Kendrick's ability to mobilize not just fans, but fellow artists showed how quickly the industry can turn on even its biggest stars when they're perceived as culturally inauthentic. Today, as Not Like Us continues to dominate charts and award shows, Drake remains in exile from the hip-hop community that once embraced him. His attempts at legal warfare have backfired, cementing his image as someone who doesn't understand or respect hip-hop's unwritten rules. Meanwhile, Kendrick stands as the undisputed king of rap, having achieved something unprecedented, not just defeating a rival, but orchestrating their complete cultural exile. This wasn't just a rap beef, it was a revolution. It showed that no artist, regardless of their commercial success or industry support, is immune from accountability within hip-hop culture. And it proved that sometimes, the entire industry can turn on a star, not out of jealousy or opportunism, but out of a collective desire to preserve the authenticity and integrity of the culture they love. The question now isn't whether Drake can recover, it's whether hip-hop will ever welcome him back into the fold, or if he'll remain forever on the outside. A cautionary tale about what happens when commercial success collides with cultural authenticity in the unforgiving arena of rap music. If you want more news about celebs, where I spill the tea about them and all their gossip, then please consider to like and subscribe for more content like this.